So as it is with Igbo people, so is it with so many other tribes and nations from virtually every continent in the world, that people pour out to drink to their ancestors and to their departed loved ones. So it is an actual practice to pour out a drink to loved lost ones and to our dead ancestors, and this culture has a very interesting history, and we're going to be talking about that in this video. So if it's your first time on the channel, click on the subscribe button and click on the bell so you're notified every time we make new content. Don't forget to give us a like, and do let us know in the comment section, do you have libation in your culture? Is that something you practice, and what does it mean to your people? Does it all mean the same thing, or is it all different? Let's talk about that in the comment section. So welcome back to the SEVICS Africa YouTube channel, where we provide educational content about Africa, and today we want to talk about libation. So what is libation? I'll be discussing libation from a cultural Igbo perspective, which is my own origin. So feel free to let me know how it's practiced in your own culture. So libation is literally a practice of, pouring one out, pouring a drink onto the ground, and it's a sign of respect, first to God, and then to any other spirits with which you have communion, your guardian angel, your spirit guide, or whatever you want to call him, as we call it in Igbo language, your chi. And then of course, if there are other spirits, maybe if you're a very spiritual person and there are other spirits you have a relationship with, you might want to pour out a drink to them, and then to your ancestors, because it is our belief that you are a sum of everything that was before you, and you are the bridge that links the past to the future. So the past, the present, the future are all interconnected. And so when a person honors his chi and honors his ancestors, he honors himself and he honors his future generations. And it's kind of cool, isn't that? Okay, so libation has very little to do with idolatry or worshiping any false gods or anything evil. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty good practice that people from all over the world have, and it's good to see how it has survived in the black culture in the United States and across Europe, where they want to pour one out. Major difference I see in the way Black Americans practice libation and the way we practice libation is that we don't take a drink until you have poured out one. So when you open up a bottle, you don't take a drink before you pour out, and you don't need to pour so much. A few drops is enough, because technically it's a sign, it's a symbol, and yeah, it represents that you want to honor your people before you, and you want them to have a share of it. But we also understand that, unlike also have an appetite for drink and who might want to have a whole bottle or two, or a whole keg, or whatever your drinking capacity is, in the spirit realm, they technically don't drink. So they understand the offering you've made and they respect that, and it's kind of a way of saying, yeah, we're all together, So this would be the equivalent of what we do in church when you want to sow a seed or you want to make an offering to a God who obviously does not spend money, right? Because I know someone's going to come to the comment section and say, it's not the same. When we offer money to God, we are giving it to the church so that the church God does not spend money. God does not need money. So when you make an offering of an animal or of cash, he sees what you're offering and he appreciates it. When you throw some drinks on the floor, God sees and is like, okay, yeah, wow, that's great. Thank you very much. He understands that you thought about him first. So remember, in libation, the Igbo man calls on the Almighty God, Chukwu Okike Abịama, Chineke, Eze Chitoke Abịama, or Basibinigwe, or whatever, because from place to place the dialect is different, but they all refer to the same person, the same supreme being. So the Igbo man calls on Chineke and calls on his personal chi, and then calls on his ancestors, and then he throws the drink to the ground. No special ceremonies to to this. And sometimes when you are in a public place, you're having a public drink with friends, you are all still expected to do a libation depending on how spiritual you are. But then you don't have to do the whole prayers and all that. Pop your drink, let a few drops fall on the ground and then go on and have your drink. And for some persons, they do this with every drink they are given. Every drink doesn't have to be ceremonial drink or drink for prayers or in an event or something. So when do we do libations? Well, like I've said, you could do that in a public place. You could do that at your special prayer time. In Igbo culture, every Igbo person, man or woman, is expected to say a prayer in the morning when they wake up, to thank God and to bless his day. And so if a man has a drink to accompany the kola at prayer, then so be it. But then one thing I know for sure is this: in Igbo cosmology, the kola nut does not understand the English language. So prayers said over the kola and with the kola nut is always said in Igbo. But for the drink, it doesn't really matter, and all you may need to say is a small invocation. Call God, take your share. My ancestors have yours, and then you go on and drink. God, thank you for this drink. When I collect on our own, you go on and drink. And that is very easy to understand because right from before the colonial days, we had just palm wine that we use for libations, and water is also used for libations. So in Igbo culture, you can basically any drink you can have can be used for libation. Water is basic. You can throw a libation with water and this is effective. You can throw a libation with any alcoholic drink and this is effective. You can even throw a libation with non-alcoholic drink, so far as that is your drink of choice. Yes, but then if you want to honor a specific ancestor, you want to honor your ancestors, it'd be wise to throw a libation with the kind of drink they enjoyed in their lifetime. Because that shows the drink is well thought out. It's not like it's something accidental. Everybody has water, but you're not gonna go fetch water every time you want to pray. If you can afford a drink, that's more respectable, and that's a lot better. So you can throw a libation when you say your morning prayers, at any other time you pray, maybe at an occasion or whenever you're having a drink yourself, so you can just go on and throw it out. And are there spiritual blessings that are attached to libations? And the answer is yes, there are spiritual blessings attached to libations. It strengthens your relationship between God, your chi, and your ancestors, and it keeps them ever present to you. And it's a way of maintaining a relationship, giving those little tokens to them, and then they will also want to give you something that you need in return. So give it a shot. Nothing so special about it. Next time you get a drink, all you have to do is pop the bottle, pour some out, and go on and have a drink.